Yeah, it's Earth Week on Sun Radio. I'm Kevin Connor, and right now I'm joined by Amy Atchley and Bobby Godsey from Austin Energy, and they specifically work in electric vehicles and emerging technologies. Nice to see you all. Happy Earth Week.
Sir.
Thank you
How
too.
how has your year been going so far at Austin Energy? How was like February?
Busy. Uh, exciting things are happening in the electric vehicle world. So we've been really busy. The pandemic maybe has changed our environment a bit, but our work is been as busy as ever.
Yeah, I know it was a tough month for Austin Energy with the storm and everything. Did you all lose power in your homes?
Fortunately, I didn't. I was very minimally impacted, but we had hosted friends and whatnot, and
Uh-huh.
had to do our part to help the community.
Well, here we are in April, and it is Earth Week and electric vehicles. A couple of people here have them, and pretty darn cool, pretty darn quiet. Where's and of course, Austin Energy is a city department, but it kind of runs like a business in a way. Where are we in Austin as far as electric vehicles?
We're doing really well. I'll start with the fact that uh, it's growing quickly in Austin, uh, but we have a great infrastructure in place. And to tell you a little bit about that is, over the last several years, we've been developing an infrastructure to ramp up for electrification and transportation. And so we have over 1,000 charging ports all over Austin
Hmm.
that people with electric vehicles that can use to charge. And it's only $4.17 a month that gives them unlimited access to those stations. And so people feel comfortable now about buying electric vehicles. So we're seeing adoption increase. We're over 12,000 vehicles in the community right now. And I think we're averaging about 35 or 40% year over year in the last few years as far as adoption.
Wow, that's a
Exciting.
big increase year by year. Um, do people have to go to these charging stations, or can they do it at home?
They can charge at home, and that's really where we see most of our charging.
Yeah.
But we have this public infrastructure because we have, nearly 50%, and it's growing every day of our population here in Austin living in multifamily housing, which they don't have their own garage where they can pull in
Right.
and so we offer this infrastructure that Bobby's talking about, which is over 1,000 ports in the city of Austin, all of which are powered by Texas Wind through our choice and green credits renewable program.
There's a bunch of them at the public library in my neighborhood, and let's say I had an electric vehicle and I needed to go get charged up. On average, how long does it take me? How long am I sitting there?
Well, if you use one of those ones at the library, it's called a level 2 charging station. And that gives you, it depends on the battery in the car, but on average around 20 miles an hour. So the level 2 charging is great for libraries and movie theaters and grocery stores. You spend an hour or two in each one of those places and you get 20 or 30 miles. You kind of top off, as we say. But we have also fast chargers all over Austin. And we've added about 25 fast chargers throughout the city in the last year and a half. And that allows you to park there and get about 130 miles or 150 miles in about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow.
So, yeah, so we're excited about those. Those are available to people, like Amy said, that are in need of it if they're in multifamily, but also for all those high mileage vehicles. We have so many Uber and Lyft drivers and so many people that need that income to come in and delivery drivers. And so those fast chargers are set up for them to quickly recharge and get back on the road and get to work. Uh, and those are very inexpensive as well. 21 cents a minute to charge at those.
Wow. Okay. So is an emerging technology an even faster charge? Is that something people are working on that you all are involved in? I mean, ultimately, could you just go and whoop, get your car charged like that?
I mean, that's actually, you know, the dream. And I think, you know, this technology, it's evolving and it changes. We see like major changes every 6 months. But in the meantime, as we're reaching to get a faster charging time, we do try to influence where we place the charging stations so
Yeah.
that they're in a place where you can go get a coffee, or they're in a place where you know, you can go and take a walk on the trails, which it's, you know, really important to have those locations that you know, people are comfortable with. And we're starting to deploy in more gas station type locations to bring that familiarity to it as well.
Yeah,
Cool.
Kevin, it's like what we have found is it's like the cell phone. Remember when you cell phone used to be a kind of an interesting animal to kind of remember to charge it and remember to so you wouldn't run out of the battery. Well, the same thing with a charger. I asked a gentleman the other day. I said, "How long does it take you to charge your car?" And he said, "It takes me 5 minutes." And I said, how does it take you 5 minutes? You know, how do you do that? How do you do it in 5 minutes?" And he said, "Well, I come home from work." And I come into my garage and I plug it into the wall. He plugs it into his wall outlet, by the way, not even a level 2 charger, just regular wall outlet. And he goes into his house and he forgets all about it. And he says he comes back out the next morning, he unplugs it, and it takes him about 5 minutes.
Well, cell phones have come a long way. My wife worked in the cell phone industry when they were brand new and they were big bricks or they had to be installed in your car. And really back then, the only customers were doctors and lawyers and drug dealers. And I remember one of her colleagues said that, you know, someday you're just going to be able to walk into the store and buy one of these. I was like, really? And of course, you got lots of options on that now. So I guess the emerging technologies of electric cars will increase that way. There certainly is a demand for it. And with the growth rates you're talking to 35% a year of people of adoption of electric cars, that's really something very cool. We're talking with Bobby and Amy from Austin Energy. And what are some of the other emerging technologies that y'all are working on?
No, we're doing a lot of work in the community around e-mobility, which is in particular electric bikes, also some of those electric scooters that we see around town. We really are working to provide what you call first and last mile solutions for people, particularly our vulnerable communities. People need reliable transportation. They need independence and transportation to really elevate their life and access the quality of life. So we've done hundreds of e-bike demos in the community, getting people to experience the technology so that they can kind of see themselves in this new wave of mobility. That's one in particular that we're really highlighting right now.
First and last mile. So you could get to public transportation, but from getting from your door to the train station or the bus station, that's the challenge.
That's the challenge. And we know that if we have these types of opportunities and options for people, that it just gives them more opportunity to have a better job, to get to the grocery store when they want to not have to rely on someone else's schedule. Again, it gives them that sort of independence.
Cool. What else? What else is going on?
Well, something that is very exciting for us is, you know, you say we're a city department. So, you know, our stakeholders, our key stakeholders are the people in our community. And over the last several years, one of the things that was brought up to our team over and over again was, you know, who sells an electric vehicle? Who sells an electric car in the community? You know, how can I find out more information about the cost of a car? Are there used cars available for me? Are they too expensive? Things like that. So Austin Energy created an online buyer's guide. And if you go to ev.austinenergy.com, you can actually, we put it under one hood, so to speak. You can go there and you can find out more about the rebates that are available to you. So incentives to buy an electric vehicle right now. But actually, the really cool thing is you can actually see who sells the car in real time in Austin. So if you want a red, your favorite color is red and you want a red car, you want a 4-door with leather seats, you can find that exact electric car in Austin now and what dealership sells it. So, and there's also some cool videos on there with somebody that's near and dear to our heart, Stevie, the EV loving T-Rex, and you can actually look and find out more information about electric vehicles. So you can also find out where to charge, where to charge them at. So it is basically all the information in one place for you to look. So it's available to people to look at now.
Okay. And again, the address to go to that is?
It's ev.austinenergy.com.
Yeah, there you go.
You can also go to Google and just look up electric cars in Austin. You'll find that site.
Have you all been able to make the switch to electric vehicles yourself yet?
Yeah, that's on the radar. For me, I'm driving a 2010 Subaru that's actually in the shop right now. And what Bobby and I do, what our team does, is we really are out there trying to influence people on that next car purchase. We know that when we're talking to people about electric vehicles, that they're not going to turn around and go buy an electric vehicle just because we're saying it's the right thing to do and it's a great option. But what we want to do is people to start considering it when that next purchase is coming on. And I can tell you, I've been on that EV buyer's guide trying to find myself a used EV. So
yeah?
that will definitely be my next purchase. My kind of model of sustainability is to drive that vehicle into the ground, and then I will go electric.
Amy is excited, Kevin, to no longer have to get an oil change and no longer have to go get spark plugs.
Right.
All those things that you have come used to doing every 3,000 miles, you don't have to worry about that with an EV or electric vehicle. So Amy's excited about it. And we have fleet vehicles at work, and we do have an electric vehicle that we use at work that we all love.
Is the city government as a whole, as an organization, switching to electric?
Yeah, we sure are. Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, we have a goal of transitioning our gas guzzlers to electric vehicles, and we've got about 180 on the road right now. The original goal is 330, and we're going to surpass that. We're starting to roll those out really quickly, and they're all being charged at city facilities, so they have that on-site charging.
Mm-hmm.
They can charge in the evenings when they're not being used.
One of the great things about switching over to electric vehicles in our fleet is, not only the zero emissions that come out of those cars for the community, but it's also, I believe, if I'm correct, about $3.4 million in savings from a gas vehicle during that same time period. Mm-hmm. So it's also saving us a few dollars on the budget as well.
Just something Amy was saying that I don't know if this is happening yet, but are more and more businesses providing charging stations? Because it just seemed that as people get back to going to work, going to the office, man, if you got there and plugged in your car and then when you came home, it was juiced up, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great model right there, and philosophy is workplace charging. And so we're definitely seeing that a lot in the businesses. And really our goal is to work and facilitate this infrastructure with stakeholders. Austin Energy owns a small portion of these charging stations. It really is community owned. And so we work to help realize that for local businesses, for residential and commercial.
And what we do, Kevin, is we offer actually a rebate for commercial charging and workplace charging. So I'm glad you brought that up. So if commercial properties are interested in adding an EV charging station for customers that come and they want to encourage people in multifamily as a new amenity, we have great rebates for that to help to keep the cost in perspective. And we know that the technology, like you said, it's that brick phone. It's becoming less and less expensive. So the technology's getting cheaper and cheaper as we go along. So they should go to the website and look at that as well. That the rebates are on there, the commercial rebates as well.
And you said, I think early on, that the charging stations that Austin Energy provides are charged themselves by wind power. Is that correct?
Do you want to fill them in, Bobby, or do you want me to?
Yeah, so one of the things that were brought up to us early on was You know, if we're going to have an electric vehicle, we want to have clean fuel that goes into that vehicle. And we want to feel confident about that as a community. That's what our citizens said. So we use our Green Choice program at Austin Energy and buy credits. So every charging station, you can feel confident 24 hours a day is providing you with clean fuel through that Green Choice program. So it's all renewable energy that goes through those stations. And for us, it's West Texas Wind. So we're very happy and very happy to share that information with people to make them feel more comfortable about clean fuel along with their clean vehicle.
Very, very cool. Just one thing, in looking for a new vehicle, there are some that are completely electric, and then there's some hybrids, right? Like a Prius is a hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And a Tesla?
It's all electric.
All electric.
I keep seeing more and more of those around town. And I guess we're probably going to see a lot more once they finish the plant. But man, I'm seeing them all over the place.
Well, I think what we're excited about as a team is the trucks that are coming out. You know, Texas loves a truck, and there's several that are coming out on the market in the next 12 to 18 months. And you know, they're just awesome trucks. If you think you could tow an F-150 and you can tow, your boat with it, you can take these electric trucks, and they're going to have a Silverado, I think, coming out, and some other great Tesla has one coming out. You'll be able to tow a house with that truck.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they have incredible power. So we're excited about that. But a lot of vehicles are coming out. Like you say, the hybrid's a great option, but really now that electric vehicles can travel so far on one charge, it really just makes sense to go fully electric.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check out that section of y'all's website, ev.austinenergy.com.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Very cool. Well, and everybody else check it out too. Amy Ashley, who's a fine musician, as well as a representative of Austin Energy, and Bobby Godsey, are you a fine musician too, Bob?
Only when I sing in the shower.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Happy Earth Week, and thank you for what you guys do to make things better around here.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.